Welcome everybody back to my Let's Read of the Homestuck Epilogues. My name is Brodemus. We're gonna just keep on trucking through this. Gonna have Brady. Have a good one. Thanks for watching the stream, man. I'll talk to you later tonight. But yeah, we're gonna get back into this this fucking shit show that we got going on here. So without further ado, let's get to it, shall we? Jane may have stepped away from her pursuit of public office. We're on Candy 18, by the way. A public office, but it's important for any educated businesswoman to stay abreast of the political goings-on of her nation. She keeps close watch on the political landscape. She's got people with eyes on every newspaper and website on Earthsea, but she likes to watch the human news herself. It's just such a delightfully adult thing to do, she thinks, as she spreads out languorously in front of her television. She remembers her father doing the same all the time. Well, without the luxurious silk robe and 80-inch TV screen. I admit I had second thoughts about calling off my presidential bid after what happened with Dirk, but you know what? I'm surprised to say that this administration isn't too shabby after all. I was really worried that one of the candidates would naively roll back the troll population control ordinance. Ordinance was Kanaya got the mother grub up and running, but they're taking a really hard line on this. Gamzee, as ever, stands by Jane's side, assisting her as she jots down notes about the political events of the day. When she asks for a fresh pen, he fishes one out of his codpiece and hands it to her, but he looks uncharacteristically disquieted. Hold on. I got the text message from whom? Oh, it's my wife, yeah. Yeah, it just came in. Fastest. Okay, cool. Uncharacteristically disquieted. Recurs to read partners. Here begin. Yeah, fine. We're at the games part now. Well, are you really all up in supporting that sticky shiz, my woman?
Excuse me, what?
It looks to me like the human man is trying to keep my people down, all discriminatorily and such. Jane chuckles at Gamzee's jape, but the strange expression persists on his clownish face. This is wicked serious, boo. You really down the subjugating my ninjas? Jane scoffs. The downside of taking notes by hand is that one's wrist is bound to get a bit sore, and it's left her short on patience for the tiresome ordeal of explaining the basic functioning of a political system to an ignorant farceur.
Gamzee, please. I'm not down with doing anything of the sort. Some of my best friends are trolls. I have no ill will towards trolls at all, and I want them to have the same opportunities and privileges as any human, or carapacian, or what have you. But there are certain measures that are, realistically speaking, necessary in order to ensure that these opportunities and privileges remain equivalent across the board.
But breeding control? Oh no, man. Doesn't seem keeping in the spirit of tolerance and equality and all that, man.
Gamzee, you just don't get it. It's not about equality, it's about equity.
Yeah, I don't follow. Oh.
You see, in a system of equality, every individual is dealt exactly the same hand. Maybe this is an analogy you would understand. What if we lived in a world where there were only one size of shoe? That would be perfectly equal if everyone had equal access to that shoe. But would it suit everyone? Could everyone put on that one size of shoe and receive an equivalent level of support and comfort?
I don't know. As long as it's a big old shoe, it might be alright, man. Jane has to pause to huff in exasperation.
No, Gamzee. Everyone needs shoes that fit the size of their feet. You need to make unequally sized shoes for unequally sized feet.
Oh, word? I ain't know all about all that, boo-boo, but if you say it's true. Rights aren't like shoes. Yeah, but this analogy falls apart.
Sigh. Yes, it's true. It's the same with building laws that are conducive to a functioning, equitable society. Some people are simply born into positions that confer upon them certain advantages, and it is the job of the government to ensure that people who are less fortunate can be lifted up, as it were, to match their luckier peers. We must offer greater assistance to some classes of people than others to ensure that equity. Such is the case with natural troll and human birth rates.
So you saying you need different shoes for your human dicks and whatnot?
Precisely. The reintroduction of the mother grub changes everything. Trolls and humans don't have identical birth rates. It's a fundamental biological fact that natural troll reproduction is much faster than humans. It's a matter of evolution and society. You know this, Gamzee. Your people evolved in a harsh, unforgiving world where the slightest misstep could lead to death. And like any animal would, your biology adapted to the circumstances. Your mother grubs have the capacity to produce an unimaginable quantity of eggs at a time, to ensure that at least a few can survive the reproductive age. And I understand that in the context of Alternate society, that worked great, because the mortality rate was so high, only a manageable number of individuals were able to make it to adulthood. But we have a peaceful society now, with benevolent caretakers and fair laws. No young troll is at danger of being killed by monstrous fauna. No one will be called for being too weak. But that doesn't change your biology. So what does that mean for the troll population? It would spiral out of control within a matter of generations. You would come to outnumber humans at a factor of thousands, millions to one. The infrastructure would not be able to keep pace. Pace. The economy would be completely destabilized. The market would be flooded with thousands of trolls who wouldn't be able to find jobs or places to live. Not to mention the issue of your lifespan. Some of you will live for hundreds, thousands of years. And honestly, speaking of biology, I'm not sure if we were to loosen population controls right now that your people have... How to say... Well, let's just say I think it would be irresponsible to gamble on whether or not the natural alternating order will reassert itself in such a troll-dominated society. Maybe in 100, 200 years, when you've proven, and I believe you will, I really do, but when you've proven that you can coexist in a harmonious society with natural breeding, it might not matter so much exactly how many more trolls there are than humans.
Wait, didn't we all up and jump forward so we got 2,314 sweeps of history or somewhat?
With artificial breeding.
Oh no, babe. This is all starting to sound a little xenophobic.
Xenophobic?
Jane narrows her eyes at the disingenuous buffoon. This is not the first time she has had a conversation like this with him by any stretch of the imagination. Not even someone as willfully loathsome as Makara could be this dense. What's more likely is he's attempting to get a rise from her, to get her a little hotter under the collar, to put her in a certain mood.
I just explained it's essential that these regulations remain in place so that the human and troll populations can remain proportionate. It isn't as if this is an issue comparable to racism within a single species, a phenomenon rooted solely in spurious cultural stereotypes, junk science, and knee-jerk bigotry. There are objectively real and quantifiable biological and behavioral differences between our species, which absolutely must be accounted for if we are to live in a harmonious society together where no species holds any advantage over another. I'm trying to prevent xenophobia.
I'm maybe just a simple motherfucking clown, not all knowledge learned about the intricacies of human economics and interspecies diplomacy, honk. But all that political pontificating you just slammed down into my think pan, can't help but think it feels a little like the bleatings of a bitch what's about to get all up and cancelled.
Cancelled?
And just like that, she falls right into his trap. There's no turning back now. The salacious ritual is imminent.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, cancelled? Are you even hearing yourself? Who in the world gave a literal insect and clown face like you the authority to be canceling anybody?
Wow. Honk.
Oh, forgive me if I'm a bit nettled to hear a drug-addicted clown who murdered half of his friends tell me that I, Jane Crocker, am cancelled?
Hey, you know that's insensitive. Addiction is a disease, and I can't rightly help that my Lucius was never around to teach me right from wrong.
Yes, we've all heard your sob story, Gimp.
But I done gone and repented now, my tall, frosty mamacita. I'm a righteous man, and all I've ever been trying to do is get you right too, with morals and goodness all filled up inside you as tight as your tasty hoe balloons are with human moo juice. Maybe what we need is a little communion, my wicked suckle sister. Flesh to motherfucking flesh. Bring those humongous bazongas over here.
I hate that these words are coming out of my mouth right now.
Get your filthy hands off me!
Come on, mama. Just a little honk to make it all better.
No, I'd rather die than touch your disgusting clown baton ever again.
You say that every time, my big busty babe. Makes a motherfucker start to think of some more of that political doublespeak of yours, my fine dairy queen.
Ah!
In spite of Jane's protest, Gamzee makes a desperate play for a lusty squeeze. Jane puts up a valiant show of resistance, but Gamzee knows she has no real intent of fighting him off. It's all part of the cosmetic dance. He has his big clown mitts right on her busty bags, honking away. As soon as Jane starts screaming, the baby does too. Jake, sitting approximately 6 feet away, bounces the infant a little to calm him down. I would say you mind keeping it down for Tavros. He was sleeping, and to be honest, I think things are getting a little blue for a baby. Gamzee certain Patrick with a child that was going rather than... Yeah, that's fair. Jane and Gamzee break apart at once. It's like she'd forgotten that Jake was there at all. She scrambles to cover herself properly the moment his voice cuts through the din of sloppy, moist honking.
Jake, darling, don't worry. There's plenty of attention to go around, my love. Would you care to join us?
It's okay. I think it's time for Tavros to be fed anyway. Why don't I just take the bottle and get him out of here so you two can...
Oh, yes. Gamzee, get him a bottle, won't you?
Jake, who had been sitting on the other side of the couch with sweet baby Tavros in his arms, remains stiff with his squalling infant as he waits for Gamzee to carry out his commanded task. The clown bends over revoltingly in front of the couch, full rump straining against his plush purple briefs, as if daring Jake to look away. And he can't. Jake stares transfixed into the full moon of the clown's buttocks, appearing virtually shrink-wrapped by the moist fabric, as Gamzee slowly descends, fingers trailing down the entire length of his leg. His codpiece bobs between his spread thighs as he grasps the bottle of milk that had been knocked to the ground in the fracas. Then he snaps right back up with a honk that nearly makes Jake rocket out of his seat. Jake's heart is racing so hard he loses focus. He doesn't notice that Gamzee is offering him the bottle until Jane's angry voice wrenches him back to his senses.
Gamzee, that's been on the ground. Get him a clean one.
Gamzee shrugs and squirrels away the half-spilled bottle in his codpiece. He walks off and returns with a fresh bottle from the fridge, then hands it over to Jake. Fucking putting a fucking leaking bottle in your fucking dick holster. Haha, thanks, I'll just be going now, see ya. Jake snatches the bottle from Gamzee's hand and all but flees the room in as brisk a walk as he can manage. Baby Tavros calms down as soon as the rubber nipple is in his mouth. But no matter how far Jake walks down the long corridors of Jane's mansion, the lascivious honks echo through the halls like the wails of a dolorous ghost. Nowhere is truly safe. Every little noise emanating from that cursed living room shoots through Jake's skull like a gunshot. As Jake gently bounces the baby in one arm, he takes his phone out to text an old friend. Jade, are you there?
Yep, what's up?
Can we call?
Sure, Jake.
Jade has started up a voice call before Jake can even move to do it himself. It's such a relief to hear her voice. It's something to focus on besides the... Nope. Jake winces. I don't need this either, Solzen. I'm the one that's fucking speaking it.
Jake, it's been a while since you called. Is everything okay?
Yep, just hunky-dory over here. You know how it is. I love my lady and baby and all that. Honk, honk, honk.
Hoo-hoo, this little piggy went to the dark carnival.
Honk, honk, honk. The sound of his wife's rapturous howling unmoors the last of Jake's composure. He staggers, threatening to spill soft little Tavros on his soft little head, killing him forever. It's not safe to stand, so Jake shuts himself into the first empty room he comes across and lets himself slide to the ground against the closed door. Anyway, what's up with you? How's life with Dave Cat going?
Oh, it's great. I'm really glad I just went for it. All of us together. It really is the best of every world. To be honest, I've never really felt like I was cut for monogamy, you know? It seems silly to even contemplate keeping all my love for only one person now. I've never really believed a person ever runs out.
That's great to hear.
Speaking of, how are things going with you and Jane and, Gamzee?
Ha! Well, it's not so much like that for me, really. Gamzee's more Janie's side piece, you know? We don't... I'm not really... Well, enough about that. Have you been thinking about your plans for the future?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, starting a family and such.
Ha ha. Ha ha.
No, really. You lot have been together for a while now. You haven't put any thought into the next step. You and Dave would have some real gangbuster babies, I'm sure.
Ha ha. I'm sure we would. But? Well...
Not ready for it yet?
Well, that's not really it. I'd love to have a baby like everybody else. I mean, everybody's been having them. I won't pretend I'm not a little jealous, but I don't think it's gonna happen with me and Dave.
What? Why not? If you want, I could give that whippersnapper a talking to. Get him to really man up and accept responsibility.
No, it's nothing Dave is doing. It's me.
Huh?
Well, there's no way me and Dave could have a regular baby together because I'm...
What's wrong?
Well, let's just say that after all the Sburb stuff is done, after all the Sburb stuff...
What the fuck? Well, let's just say that after all the Sburb stuff, it's done some things to my body.
It's done some things to my body, like merging with Beck mostly.
Have you been trying?
We can't really.
What do you think? What do you think? Your dog genes or whatever are keeping you from getting pregnant?
Not my genes exactly.
They aren't so fucked up. Later, Gab. You fucking bail now, because I know what's coming up, I think. Would the union rule out a union of an ectobiological sort?
I guess not, but I don't think any of us are really interested in having a kid with ectobiology. It just feels... Well, I think we've had enough of ectobiology for one lifetime.
Fair enough.
I've thought about asking Rose to help us, but that's so much to ask.
What, like a surrogate? To have her carry the child for you in her womb?
Yeah, something like that.
Goodness, have you mentioned this to her?
Yes, we've talked a little bit about it.
I'm getting a little too Janey here. Where the fuck was I? What did she say?
I don't know, it's a tricky subject. She didn't say no, just that there was stuff to think about.
I see, but, I might be missing something.
What?
Well, Dave is Rose's brother, right?
Yeah.
So if he supplied the fatherhood material, wouldn't that be... What did I say?
No, Jake, Dave wouldn't be the father in this scenario.
Oh, Cargat then! Oh, wait. No, I'm confused again. Aren't there biological compatibility issues there? I mean, with natural birth and not the ecto-what's-it machine?
Carcat wouldn't be the dad either.
What?
LMAO. Don't worry about it, Jake. Look, I gotta go, okay? It was nice talking to you.
No, please don't.
Huh?
Don't go, please.
Jake, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. It's just... Sigh. Never mind.
If there's something wrong, please tell me. I'm here for you. You know that, right?
There's nothing wrong. Sorry. I feel like we've been drifting apart lately is all because we're all so busy with our new lives and such. I just wanted to talk to you, like the old times. But I won't hold you up if you've got places to be.
Jake.
It's okay, Jade. I'll be okay.
Okay, I really do have to go. I'm sorry. I'll talk to you again soon, okay, Jake? I'll call you.
Okay, thank you, Jade. I'm sorry.
Okay. Bye.
Jade hangs up. Jake releases a rattling sigh. Honk, 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 honk. I hate it. Candy 19. How many fucking things are in Candy again? 41, 42, some bullshit like that? I lost my fucking notepad. I lost my fucking note that had all the numbers on it. Wait, was this it? Is this 41? Anyway.
How cute do you guys think John's baby's going to be? Like on a scale of 1 to 11.
Jade rolls over and nuzzles herself into the crook of Dave's armpit, taking Carcat's hand with her so that it's slung over her stomach. Dave doesn't stop scrolling on his phone. His face is a kaleidoscope of neon, lit from beneath by the alternating mushrooms that flare up at night with a sick green bioluminescence, and from above by the soft glow of his social media accounts. I don't know. I still haven't come to terms with the fact that John's gonna be a dad.
You don't think he'll be a good one?
I didn't say that, but okay, since you asked. I mean, think about it. If you were gonna rank us in order of maturity based on all the years we've known each other, about where would you put John? Yeah, 41 is apparently how many Candy's got, Solsa. Carcat, lazily munching on a chocolate beetle, taps his foot against the picnic blanket. Jade moves his hand so that it's resting subtly on the line of exposed skin above her skirt, where her tank top is riding up. He seems not to notice. Instead, he's seriously considering Dave's question. He picks a leg off one of the beetles and flicks it over Jade so that it lands on Dave's forehead. Below me, but above you. Yeah, exactly. Now he's all married and pregnant and he's got a mustache. I'm selling over the fucking mustache.
Why not? He looks so good.
Yeah, he looks disturbingly good. I almost can't talk to him anymore. It looks so good.
Oh?
Jesus, Jay, don't fucking read into it. I broke and appreciate how attractive his broke has become and maybe get a little breathless at the sight of his chiseled jawline and manly facial hair without being gay about it. I've just been thinking lately every time I see him that he's... Okay, don't make fun of me for saying this, but it's like... John's a man. Not a lowercase m man, but a fully grown-up legit fucking dude with a leather briefcase and a suit that he only wears on special occasions. Pretty fucked up. I know, right? Jade pokes a finger into Dave's chin, sliding it up his jawline so that it puckers his mouth into a pout. It's a pretty cute thing to do, if extremely immature. This might be the point Dave was trying to make, but that they're fucking hell, I can't read. That they're all still kind of immature. Jade doesn't pick up on the obvious subtext in the conversation, however, because she's been willfully undermining the subtext in her own personal life for nearly a year now.
Well, I've actually been thinking lately about how since Rose and Kana had a kid, and Jane and Jake had a kid, and John and Roxy are gonna have a kid, what would you think if maybe we had kids?
What? Who, you and Dave?
Carcat starts laughing. Jade flicks him in the forehead.
No, stupid, all 3 of us! What? Look, I know there are issues to sort out in terms of, feasibility, but I think there are a lot of options to consider. Maybe someone can help us out, like someone we know? Or I don't know, what about adoption? That could be cute, adopting a little grub. Aw, or a human, whatever, I'm not picky.
It's fucking right. Jade, don't you read the newspapers? The new administration is cracking down on certain kinds of interspecies adoption laws. If you're so intent on it being the 3 of us, we literally will not be able to adopt a human child because the human administration is afraid that I don't know, tear into it and feast on its organs. And in that kind of political climate, well, I'm not sure it's a world I would want to raise a troll child right now. Joke's on them. I've never seen you tear into anything more complicated than microwave dinner. I know, right? I mean, on the other hand, if we adopt a kid young enough, it would totally fit in the microwave. What the fuck, Dave? I'm not gonna eat your theoretical baby. Dave puts away his phone and rolls up so that he's braced on his elbow. He meets Carcat's gaze over the rise of Jade's chest and smiles at him. Yeah, dude, I know. You're probably like the closet dad of the fucking year. Just waiting for his moment to shine. I bet you'd whine and complain about getting a kid till we actually brought Junior home. The moment you saw his chubby little cheeks, your face would light right up.
Oh, I can imagine the look on Carcat's face right now.
Yeah, you know exactly the one. Like how he looks when his Hot Pocket finishes cooking in the microwave, which he understands is an instrument of food preparation and not some sort of grim infant warming device.
Why did you have to bring it back to the microwave?
Oh, because I had more jokes to make about the subject.
Of course. God forbid Jade and I are forced to listen to every letter of your morbid internal dialogue.
Whatever, you love it. Anyway, on the baby in the microwave front.
God!
I'd be more worried about me being the one who do the deed, so to speak. I mean, it's not like I've got a great demonstrative background in child rearing or anything. Because you know the places I got left as a kid, I wouldn't be surprised if I just put our baby in the toaster by accident or something. Like, if you tally up the amount of hours I spent locked in the fridge compared to the amount of hours I spent in the American school system learning how to be normal and do polynomials, just saying it's looking dire. Dave's staring into the distance like like a stopped clock, or at the very least like a dude who's been locked in the fridge more than once in his life. Jade and Karkat exchange a private look they've also given each other more than once in Dave's presence. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna stick to hot pockets, I think.
Dave, you really think you'd make that bad a father? Even with me and Karkat helping you?
Don't take this personally, but I'm an evidence-based hypothesis kind of guy, and so far three-way relationships in our friend group attempt to parenthood, the record ain't looking so good. Just saying. A clown, a fascist, and a male sex icon walking to a bar sounds like the start of a bad but funny joke. But when it's start of a family, that's when it gets a bit less funny to me. Poor little dude gonna be fucked up.
Oh, come on, Dave. Tyros is a cute kid.
Sure, he is now. The moment cognitive function starts firing off in that kid's head, he's gonna be scarred for life.
We don't know that.
Jade, I know Jake's like your bestie, and also your grandfather, and also kind of your grandson, and also your fucking dad, I guess, but his relationship is bad.
Hey, that's not necessarily true.
You're right, it's not fucking true. Dave's just being gentle here to spare your feelings. His relationship is not merely bad. His relationship is a flaming wreck of an interstellar warship hurtling towards the planet at eternal velocity, with the entire crew brutally slaughtered upon re-entry, shoved straight down the Chagrin tunnel, and then immediately shat out the other side, thus flooding the entire fucking neighborhood when it clogs up the load gaper. Jade sits up and wraps her arms around her knees. Her ears go flat as she chews her lip.
It's not like I don't know that. John never shuts up about it. I mean, he and Jane used to be close back when we all first met, but last time I talked to John, he accused her of raping Jake.
Oh shit, you don't fucking say.
It's not like I don't worry about Jake, but come on, we're all adults. What am I supposed to do? Show up at his window dressed like the Blue Fairy and whisk him away from his terrible life? Maybe that would work for a few days, but one thing I learned from dating around a lot in my youth is that no one's going to leave a bad relationship until it's their idea to leave.
She takes in a shaky breath and shuts her eyes. Her hair spills around her face when she leans forward to put her chin on her knees. Dave and Karkat exchange a look that is equal parts confused, miserable, and desperate. Karkat's making a fist against the ground, digging up a handful of moss and getting dirt under his fingernails. Perhaps it's a metaphor. He wryly speculates for the way Jade has just dug up the emotional dirt in their relationship. Dave clears his throat quietly. One of them could say something right now if they found the nerve, but as the moments slide by, the nerve remains in short supply. Karkat opens his mouth, without quite having settled into the words that will come out of it. But before any do, the sky cracks open. Instead, he lets out an undignified yelp and scuttles back so he doesn't get hit by the sharp debris suddenly raining from above. Jade spins around and flings her arms out, using her space powers to catch the offensive rubble and shrink it into harmless granules. They spark and clash against her fingers. She can't quite tell what they are. They're not rocks or metal. They don't even seem to be physical. Something else comes hurtling out of the hole in the sky out of the sky, too fast for Jade to catch. It hits the ground with a clap of green lightning. The collision sends a geyser of dirt, rock, and vapor into the air. Dave flash steps to shield Karkat. Jade doesn't move, taking the brunt of the explosion face on, using her abilities to warp the energy around her so that she's a moat at the center of the storm. When the dust clears, she's the first to jump at the crater, trailing smoke behind her. There's a body at the center of it. The torso is bloody, tangled, and curled into a fetal position. Its shoes are missing, but otherwise the outfit is quite familiar to her. It's a dead ringer for her old witch's space uniform. Jade touches the body with a toe of her shoe, and then gasps when it rolls to reveal its face.
It's me?
Karkat and Dave stick their heads over the edge of the pit. Holy shit. What in the ever-living fuck? Good question. I don't know, but we should probably get her some help. Help for what? It looks like her internal organs are obliterated. She's covered in more blood than I thought humans even had inside them. Well, we can't just leave her in the fucking hole, man. Come on, give me a hint. Karkat watches as Jade stands over her own younger corpse. He notices the way her shoulders are slanted. It's clear even from a distance that she's shaking. Jade, do you have any idea what's going on here? What should we do about this? Gee, Homestuck, how come your mom lets you have 2 Jades? Jade doesn't say anything. She's staring at the body, a badly broken version of herself, probably from a different timeline, she guesses. This Jade looks about 16 years old. Her hair is matted with blood. Her appearance is gruesome, yet also peaceful, somehow. Dave slides down the ridge of the crater and grabs her by the shoulder. Hey, Jade, you hear us? Jade wipes a hand across her cheek and looks down to find that it's come away bloody. One of those shrunken, massless shards in the sky must have nicked her in the face. Her eyes go wide as she feels the breath go out of her for a moment. She looks directly upward. Where did this body come from? Jade?
Yes, Dave, I heard you.
Still staring at the body, Jade digs her phone out of her pocket.
I need to talk to Jane.
All right, not what I was expecting. Not what I was expecting at all. Wow, sure. Candy 20. Wow, sure feels weird to just be hanging out with all these assholes we were totally gossiping about just 20 minutes ago. Karkat is loudly whispering to Dave, leaning a bit too intimately into the curve of his chest for 2 dudes who are dating the same girl but not each other. I always knew our gossip sins would catch up with us eventually.
Shush, both of you!
Jade brushes past them holding her dead teen self under the armpits, while Jake brings up the rear, striped tight at ankles in hand. He shoots Dave and Karkat a big toothy grin. Dave nods back. Karkat continues to look somewhat seasick, keeping his eyes high so they don't accidentally graze teen Jade's impaled chest. Jake and Jade take the corpse up the winding white staircase toward Jane's bedchamber. The Crocker mansion is a dazzling maze of marble halls polished to a mirror sheen. It's the kind of place where footsteps echo from one end of a floor to the other, and even the pillows are lined with literal silver thread. There's a peaked skylight at the top of the foyer. I never really know how to fucking pronounce that word. That splits the morning sun like a prism, spilling multicolored dots across every surface below. Amongst those dots are drips of teen Jade's blood. It's so dark on the spotless tile that it looks nearly black. Dave saves the Karkat by the door. They're waiting to meet Rose, Kanaya, John, and an extremely pregnant Roxy, who all show up together with baby Vriska, who's really been coming along in her metamorphosis cycle lately. She now has both oral cavities and opposable thumbs, and she's making good use of the latter by reaching out to mash her hands against the face of any adult foolish enough to enter her range. She grabs one of Karkat's little nubby horns while Kanaya passes by. He reacts pretty much the same way he would if it were actual Vriska tugging on any part of his person. He flails and grouses, making a few strangled sounds of impotent rage. It gives everyone a good giggle on a dark and confusing day. John hangs back with Karkat and Dave while the girls go upstairs.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Oh, just enjoying a nice night out with our girlfriend when another teen version of our girlfriend plummeted out of the sky and bled all over our picnic pizza.
Picnic pizza?
Yeah, it's like normal pizza, except that you eat it while sitting on a tablecloth in the fucking grass.
Oh, cool. I never thought about doing that. I just bring sandwiches to my picnics like a dumbass. Then again, the last time I went on a picnic, I ate... Actually, never mind what I ate. But it sure wasn't pizza.
You're lost, bro. It's the only way to picnic out. Stop talking about picnic pizza, you assholes. This isn't such poor taste. Yeah, he's right. Anyway, like I was saying, we were in picnic pizza heaven when fucking space tier Jade from 7 or 8 years ago basically face planted in the field next to our romantic triple date.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty bad timing. Or extremely good timing. I don't know yet. The conversation was veering kind of, ugh. We were in the relationship real talk zone. Anyway, can we stop dwelling on this shit and just go upstairs? As they ascend the staircase, they are greeted by the horrible bone-rattling sound of a toddler screaming its head off. In the room, little Vriska Lalonde is pulling on little Tavros Crocker's thick black hair, while Jake Crocker laughs and scratches his head awkwardly. Jane looks quite irritated. Gansy Makara Crocker is at her side, serving as her ever-faithful shadow, holding her arm to steady her as she tries to revive teen Jade's corpse.
Jake!
Vitriol leaks from every letter of his name. John and Dave exchange a knowing look. Who's supposed to be the Kismesis here again?
Would you take Tavros out of here, please?
Well, golly, Jane, I just thought it would be invigorating for the boy to interact with someone else's age for once.
Well, he doesn't need to do it in here, especially not when I'm trying to work.
Hey, now, it looks alright. You ought to chill. Yelling at your motherfucking mate spread is bad for the blood pressure, babe.
Oh, I'm sorry. As a clown speaking right now, it's the darndest thing. I could have sworn I just heard a nearby offensively odoriferous clown offering some advice when no one asked for his opinion.
Whoa, Janie, you okay?
Jane wipes perspiration off her face and sighs.
I don't know. I've just been under a lot of stress lately, trying to run my business, raise a child, and manage the political situation indirectly through various corporate machinations. Jake, why are the children still in here? Take them to the playroom, now!
Aye, ma'am. Jake scoops up the squabbling children and holds them as far apart as possible to stop Vriska from biting Tavros' ear off. It's just one of the unfair advantages she has over him and his blunt human teeth. John and Dave part to let Jake go by. Quite sorry, blokes, he whispers as he takes his leave. Jane clutches her hands around teen Jade's thin shoulders, looking the corpse over with an expression of absolute sorrow.
I don't know why, but I'm having an extremely difficult time reviving her. Where did she even come from?
The living Jade shakes her head.
We have no idea. It's like the sky just opened up.
Well, obviously, she's from another timeline. Darling, can you perhaps shed some light on this? Rose sucks on her lower lip. It takes her a moment to respond. Her fingers close around the neckline of her dress as her gaze sweeps across the room. She looks over each person present, but avoids making eye contact. I haven't the faintest clue. It could be anything. John quirks an eyebrow at her. She doesn't sound confident, not like she did a month earlier when she claimed that Vriska had defeated Lord English.
Well, something is blocking my life powers. It's as if she has a sort of poison in her. Not a literal poison, mind you. If it were as simple a matter as there being something in her bloodstream, I could revive her lickety-split. It's deeper than that. It's like a poison eating away at the very core of her being. It's stacking her on, perhaps it sounds crazy, but a metaphysical level? Huh? It's so, what's so odd is that the only that not only can I not bring her back to life, she also somehow doesn't feel entirely dead. Oh.
Fucking great. These two have the same fucking voice. Now they're talking together. Great. Love it.
Oh, I wonder if she has something to do with, if that's something to do with me, like being here? How so? Well, all of our selves across infinite timelines are actually just one self, right? Like one ultimate self distributed across multiple bodies, so in multiple places and states at once. Every Jade that exists is like a light being shined through 1,000 cracks in the timeline. But if we're outside the place where that light is being split from, maybe only one of us can exist, and that's why she's stuck in this horrible state.
Roxy places her hand on Jade's head and gives her a little scratch between the ears.
I think that Janie was just being melodramatic, Jade.
It's not your fault.
Jade reaches out to take her own corpse's hand. She remembers being this age, being heartbroken, still newly godlike in her abilities, and on the verge of fighting a battle that could change everything. She can't believe how young she looks.
What should we do with her?
Roxy claps her hands together.
Well, hate to be the one who says what we're all thinking, but sounds like it's time for another funeral, LMAO.
LMAO? Roxy, Jade is dead, and you're probably going to give birth within the week.
Yeah, so we gotta start planning this one right now.
Come on, guys. How long has it been since we were all together like this?
Roxy looks around the room searchingly with a big, bright grin. Karkat snorts from the far corner of the room where he's been pouting the whole time. I'm sorry, was that a rhetorical fucking question, or were you going somewhere with it?
It was not rhetorical at all. The last time we were all together was Dirk's funeral.
Roxy, at the time, we were mourning the death of a dear friend.
I know, right? Nothing like the death of someone we love to bring us all together again. We've all been so busy with being pregnant and birthing 1,000 trolls and the political situation that regulates the troll birthing. We don't have time to catch up anymore.
Jane's eyes flutter wide beneath her spectacles. Unbidden, her gaze flickers to where Rose and Kanaya are standing shoulder to shoulder, very much in stable, devoted interspecies love. Kanaya catches that gaze and holds it for a very long, tense moment.
Roxy?
Kanaya interrupts, tone clipped and dry. I don't know, Salsa. Perhaps we should not talk about that particular subject. If your concern here is that we all continue to be in the same room, it's probably best we avoid bringing attention to the reasons that it so rarely happens.
Oh, come on. Politics you never get between friends.
Easy for you to fucking say. Jade interjects tiredly.
Karkat, let's not, okay? I mean, not now.
Let's not what? Let's not talk about the giant fucking trumpet beast in the room? Let's not talk about how Kanaya, Terezi, and I worked just as hard to create this world as any of you, but our people don't even get a say in how they govern themselves? Let's not talk about how the crimes of Alternia are held up to unfair scrutiny anytime a troll wants to fucking do or say something on the news, but we're not allowed to generalize humans based on the worst things that happened in your history? Let's not talk about how Alternia was basically a sacrificial fucking milk beast upon the altar that this universe is built on, but you all act like we're so lucky you deigned to allow us to exist alongside you instead of just letting us fucking die out the way it was intended?
Excuse you, Karkat, but no one acts like that.
Oh, no one? Karkat pushes off from the wall, furious, practically spitting flames. He points at Jane, his whole arm quivering. I listen to the fucking news, you know. I've heard all the arguments, the ones based on the policy advice your corporate think tanks feeds the president. Do you think that it's being broadcast at a frequency only humans can hear or something? Do you think we're that stupid? Even I can tell that the atmosphere of the Troll Kingdom is changing, and I have never once willingly had a conversation with my neighbors. Everyone's starting to get scared. More than that, they're starting to get pissed. Jane folds her hands in her lap. Her voice is ice cold and varnished to a shine.
Is this meant to be a threat of future violence, Mr. Vantis? I'm not sure menacing me is making the most compelling case for your political claims.
Holy shit, are you all fucking hearing this?
Yes, Karkat, we are all most definitely hearing this. It's somewhat unavoidable with you shouting it all at the top of your lungs.
Sorry, I thought it might be kind of difficult for you to hear me. Well, with your head shoved all the way up your big, fat ass!
Whoa, damn.
Gamzee steps out from behind Jane, putting himself between her and Karkat. He raises his hands in a calming gesture.
Hey, brother, chill out.
Fuck off, Gamzee!
Whoa, Karkat, my dude, why are you all lashing out and shit? I thought we were motherfucking good.
No, we are not motherfucking good. We will never be motherfucking good.
Yo, come on, man. I motherfucking apologize about going all overboard with the malice and murder and shit. A motherfucker redeemed his motherfucking self. Y'all can't get salty with your homie no more. That be all the rule of redemption, my brotherly bitch.
I don't care what you say the rules are, dude. I don't care if you prostrate yourself at my feet and lick the fucking dirt out from under my toenails. Don't fucking try to do that, by the way. I'm obviously being facetious. If you actually tried to touch my feet with your disgusting, rotten-smelling tongue, I'd probably be forced to reach down my throat and pull out my own pump biscuit. That was also me being facetious. My point is, don't touch me, don't smile at me, don't wink at me, don't honk at me, don't anything in my direction. Got that? We are nothing to each other. Do you fucking understand me, brother? Gamzee gets up from where he had been crawling across the floor in preparation for some righteous attritional toe-sucking. He looks positively crestfallen.
Carcat, yo, this has gotta be something I can do.
No, never in my wildest dreams of your soap-or-soaked pea-brain will we be motherfucking good, Gamzee. Because you're sleeping with the goddamn enemy, because I still have nightmares about what you did, and because you have no idea what the fuck you even did wrong in the first place.
Whoa. Okay, Carcat, I get you're all fired up about politics and stuff, but lay off Gams, okay?
Yes, can't you see that he's sincerely trying to have a redemption arc?
I get if you don't want to forgive him, that's totally your business, but you gotta at least admit that he's making an effort here.
Honk. That's it! Carcat points at Jane again, then at Roxy, and then at Gamzee. Fuck you, and especially you! In fact, fuck all of you! I'm leaving! Carcat whirls around to leave, but Dave tries to stop him, hands on his shoulders. Carcat wrestles out from under his gentle grip, hissing. He jabs Dave hard in the clavicle, hard enough that Dave is forced to take a shocked half-step backwards. Dude, what part of all of you do you not understand, Strider? Are you as deaf as you are stupid? Get the fuck out of my way! Dave folds out of the way, stunned and compliant. Jade gapes at her stunned boyfriend and the empty space in the doorway left by her other boyfriend.
Dave, what the fuck did you say to him downstairs?
Nothing? To be honest, I think he's been holding that in for a while. Carcat leaves a stunned silence in his wake. Jane, fuming silently to herself, Kanai and Rose exchanging a knowing look about world politics, John chewing his lip, and mulling about how Carcat is probably right, and how if he were braver, he would have backed him up. This unpleasant spell of poorly attuned togetherness is interrupted by Jake looking all toothsome and fatherly with Tavros asleep in his arms, and a placated Vriska riding his broad shoulders. By Jove, chaps, what was all that commotion?
It was nothing, Jake. Go back to the playroom.
No, wait, Jake, we're having another funeral. We don't got much time, so I'm appointing you officially third in charge of the planning committee. After all, after me and Calliops.
Oh my god, Roxy, are you really serious about this funeral idea?
Yeah, why wouldn't I be?
Christ. I'm all for, honoring the memory of this departed version of Teen Jade we barely know, but you're so pregnant.
Yeah, I'm pregnant as shit, but I don't see anybody else stepping up to the plate.
Roxy, I understand the sentiment, but are you really sure it's appropriate?
Yep, it's even more appropriate now. After all the bullshit that's happened, we need a good bash for the sake of team unity.
I admit to still being ignorant regarding many aspects of human culture, but a funeral is not what I would call a bash.
LMAO, that's because you've got no imagination, Kanaya. We'll make sure it's lit AF, right, Jake?
Golly, I do love me a good soiree, no matter the circumstance. I'd be chuffed to the nines to be your third man on this one, Rox.
Then it's official. This time next week, we'll corpse party like it's the end of the world. Again.
Jane pushes up her spectacles so that she can pinch the bridge of her nose.
How is it that no matter how hard I try to keep the foolishness in my life confined exclusively to my romantic partners, I invariably find myself surrounded by clowns regardless?
Honk.
Fucking hell. Gotta go, Salsa. Hey, you good? Glad you could join us. The VOD will be up on Monday, so have a good one. Glad you could stop by for a bit. Oh, excuse me. King 21. We'll be halfway through this one. It's raining again, coming down in a frigid torrent. John is a pallbearer this time around. Teen Jade is so light, he and Jake alone carry the coffin with ease. Together, they trudge through the ankle-deep puddles while their friends line up on either side of the stone steps that lead into the cathedral. It's just them this time, Earthsea's very own dysfunctional collection of old gods. John can't say he misses the clangor of a shameless press hounding them from the edges of what is supposed to be a somber ceremony. But the smallness of the congregation under the tall Gothic ceilings makes Roxy's attitude at the pulpit all the more absurd. She leads John and Jake into the building and down the center of the nave, humming happily to herself the entire time. An equally effusive Calliope trails behind her, carrying a bouquet of purple flowers. Despite Roxy's insistence that this sad event could only bring them all closer together, the group is sitting in chilly segments on either side of the aisle, pointedly not interacting. Carcat is sitting all on his own, about 6 pews behind Jade and Dave. Gamzee's hanging out by the door, having been banished there by Jane like a wet dog. No one in the cathedral can blame her, because he certainly smells like one. Roxy, bathed in pink and gold light from the stained glass behind her, spreads her arms and begins to speechify. She practically has to shout to be heard over the roar of the rainstorm outside.
Thanks everyone for joining us today. We are gathered here to honor the memory of alternate universe Jade. Alas, we hardly knew her. By which I mean we didn't know her at all, because she fell out of the sky like a week ago and was already dead. But I think that based on our long acquaintanceship with alive Jade, we can safely assume that she was totally rad. Ugh. So we're all here to contemplate the vast coolness of the universe as such radness was plucked in its prime. Psst, Callie the Roses. Oh, of course.
Calliope begins plucking the petals off her bouquet and tossing them in a fluttery, uneven arc over Roxy's impressively coiffed hair. John facepalms audibly in the crowd. He'd spent the entire morning giving one more go at talking Roxy out of the entire affair, but she was stubbornly dedicated to her artistic vision. You gave it the old college try, chap, Jake said to him earlier as he waxed his mustache in the mirror, but it's better for a man to just let his wife do whatever she wants. I promise you'll experience less pain that way, old boy.
Purple roses traditionally represent love at first sight. However, these roses were actually red roses that were prepared using a blue dye. The blue rose is the most elusive and mysterious of all flowers. The combination of red and blue in this context is meant to evoke the dual nature of death, in that there is nothing more mysterious and impossible to comprehend than the vast void of the afterlife. But also, there is nothing that makes us appreciate the life and love, love that we already have than the mystery of death. While death is terrifying, there is always joy to be found among the sorrow. Each time we witness death, we fall in love with the important people in our lives all over again. Calliope is gazing at Roxy with glassy eyes. She sniffs as she plucks her last petal from her rose. A breeze washes through the cathedral from the crack in the door at the end of the room, brushing the petal off course and causing it to get stuck in Roxy's oversprayed hair. Calliope reaches out with a visibly shaking hand to remove the plant offal, but she does not drop back. Instead, she lets her hand graze down the side of Roxy's face and cup her cheek. Roxy puts her own hand over Callie's and holds it. John tilts his head and squints at the image in front of him.
Oh, Callie, that's a beautiful metaphor.
Oh, thank you, Roxy.
Don't sound so humble about it. It's very deep.
I just can't take the credit for the external inspiration.
Oh man, come on, Callie, you're the literal muse.
Yes, but you're...
This very tender scene is cruelly interrupted by the sound of the cathedral door slamming open. Everyone whips their heads around to see, of all people, Aradia, hovering in the foyer. Her wings radiate a soft ephemeral glow that paints the walls around her pink and red. Solix is with her, feeling his way in the church along the grain of the door. He's soaked head to toe.
Oh no, did we miss the entire corpse party? I hope not.
Yes, that would be such a tragedy.
Oh, shush you. The tragedy is what I don't want to miss.
Karga jumps to his feet, eyes so wide they're practically popping out of his head. Aradia! Holy shit, Solix! Hey, loser. It's been a long time. It's been a long time! Is that all you have to say to me? It's been more than a fucking human decade. I thought you guys were dead.
No, I wasn't dead.
No, I mean, like, gone forever. I thought that you two literally didn't exist anymore. Or at the very least, were trapped in a dead universe perpetually collapsing into its own asshole. Oh. Nope. Fine! Waltzing here with no explanation whatsoever. Sounds about fucking right. It's not like your sudden and unexplained presence is any less of a joke than this funeral we're having. I mean, why stop at Solix and Aradia? Maybe fucking Nepeta is about to pounce from behind that grotesque statue of the human sufferer T-posing over there. Nepeta, are you there? Come on out. The corpse party wouldn't be the same without you.
Shush, everyone. There'll be a reception with cake and candy after the service. You all can have your poignant reunions then. Before we unite in tearful togetherness, we gotta unite in tearful loss.
Wait, there's more? I thought the nice speech Callie made was, like, pretty much the funeral.
Oh, no. Kinda, we're just getting started.
Oh my god.
Anyway, where was I?
How the infinite mystery of death makes us appreciate the love we have.
Right.
Roxy starts giving the second act of her eulogy. Radia glides to the floor and sets her feet on the stone tiling, elfin and weightless. She sidles up to Gamzee and jostles him in the ribs.
So I see you managed to get out of the fridge.
I didn't get out of the fridge. I was set free, sister.
I see.
When the door of that fridge popped open, I was like it was like I'd be all seeing the light and shit.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when someone opens a door to a totally dark enclosure. Fuck, I can't believe you're still this stupid. Oh, wait. I can.
No, brother, it's a motherfucking metaphor. A metaphor for the miracle of redemption.
Redemption?
Yeah, check it the fuck out. I did my motherfucking redemption arc.
Is that so?
I've been doing all kinds of good deeds at the Lost Motherfuckers. Preaching the holy word, making out with orphans.
Oh.
Isn't it kissing orphans?
Let him talk, Solix.
I even got a healthy, mutually fulfilling kismesis going on with that foxy human broad up front.
Aradia turns to look in the direction of his lecherous ogle. She observes the bored-looking woman, who she recognizes as Jane. Aradia looks her up and down, and arches an eyebrow in approval.
It's nice to see that you believe in all that, Gamzee. I think I can honestly say I'm reasonably happy for you.
OMG, quiet in the back already. We're trying to have a beautiful and solemn proceeding up here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do agree that it's beautiful. It's a beautiful corpse party, but I think it would be even more beautiful if we could, actually see the corpse.
Oh my god, Aradia, are you still like this? Or why are you still like this? Roxy smacks herself in the forehead, like this is the most obvious thing in the world. Of course, how could she forget the fucking corpse?
Oh, well, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Hey, Jake, a little help? I'm like hella pregnant here and shouldn't be doing any heavy lifting.
Jake leaps from his seat, very enthusiastic to be freed from the ice-cold grip of Jane's perfectly manicured hand. He jumps onto the stage and begins unlatching the coffin while Calliope throws more rose petals for some reason. Living Jade slumps into her seat a bit, beginning to look green.
Ugh.
Yeah, babe, it's okay.
Easy for you to say. You've got practice with this kind of thing.
Just remember, it's not actually your corpse. I mean, technically it is. It both is and isn't your corpse at the same time. Which, yeah, the longer you think about it like that, the more fucked up it gets. But also, when you objectively think about it, the combined multiverse is a huge tangle of interrelated but totally random events, and it's only chance that this specific life is the one you ended up living. You and that corpse could have just easily switched places. But also, that would never actually happen because that's not how paradox space works. Anyway, my point is that nothing really matters, so chill out.
I love you with all my heart, Dave, but you're really, really not helping right now.
With a grunt, Jake pries at the coffin. The lid creaks open and hits the side of the pulpit with a loud crack. The noise reverberates through the entire cathedral, shaking dust off of the unused pews and rattling the iron in the stained glass windows. Outside, a clap of thunder follows. Aradia vaults into the air and flits over the pews to get a better look at the body. Teen Jade remains in the bloody space outfit she crashed to Earth in, since nobody was willing to dislodge the huge, otherworldly shard from her chest in order to change her. But Roxy has done the corpse's makeup beautifully and fashioned her a lovely flower crown. If not for all the blood caked down her front and her conspicuous impalement, she'd look like she was merely sleeping.
Now this is more like it. I can't look.
Oh, here. Dave slings an arm around her shoulders. She starts to snuggle in, but Dave is absolutely not initiating physical contact here for the purpose of getting his cuddle on. Instead of cradling Jade in his arms, he uses his hands to cover her eyes.
What are you doing?
Emotional support, yo.
Dave?
What? I'd like to see you do better.
Me too, actually. I'm sorry, but I'm not the one whose questionable consolation tactics are on trial here. This isn't a trial. It's a funeral.
They've got a point, Rose. You gotta admit.
A point about what?
You're not great at consolation? Just saying.
Oh, you don't know the half of it. Excuse all of you, but I'm an excellent advice giver. Nobody said anything about advice giving, Rose.
Oh yeah, the advice is top notch, but you're kind of a weird person to, cry in front of? No offense.
What?
The first time I ever got upset in front of you, Rose IRL, in front of Rose IRL, she put her arms around me, and it was so awkward that I had to ask her if she was hugging me or reaching for something on the shelf behind me.
Everyone, we're getting rather off track. I was doing both for your information.
The first time Rose hugged me, it was such a disaster. We didn't make eye contact for a week after.
Jade, come here. I shall hold you in my arms. Thank you, Kanaya. At least one of you knows how to treat a lady in distress. Agreed. I've always felt that Kanaya has done an exemplary job of providing a model for compassionate, empathetic behavior, which others of her kind would do well to follow.
What the fuck did you just say?
I'm sorry, Mr. Vantis. Do you have another unsolicited political opinion you'd like to share with everyone?
Considering the shit geyser that just shot out of your ignorance cannon, I'd say my opinion is pretty fucking solicited right about now.
Everyone, be quiet!
Calliope yells so loud that her voice becomes a hollow, howling shriek. The glass in the candelabras above her shatters, snuffing out the candles and filling the choir with blue smoke. She gasps and covers her mouth with both hands, shrinking beneath the startled look she's receiving for the rest of the funeral goers. Slowly, she lowers her arms, staring at her hands in shock. This time, she whispers,
Please, Roxy gathered you all here for a reason. At least listen until the end. After that, you can argue all you want.
Roxy comes back to the pulpit, wraps an arm around Calliope's shoulders.
Look, everyone, I'm not dumb, okay? Even though I act like it sometimes. I know what's going on here. That we're all drifting apart. And I know that's just a normal part of growing up and making new families. And I guess learning that some people have unbridgeable divides on political stuff. I can accept that things aren't gonna always be the same as when we first met. Especially with Dirk gone. Damn. Even though it's been more than a year, I still feel like he died yesterday. What Callie said earlier about death being mysterious and full of love is true. I don't know if I ever would have gotten up the courage to marry John if Dirk hadn't died. Sometimes I think about what it would have been like if he was still here. I think we can all agree that if Dirk didn't kill himself, there would be some big differences in the lives of people here in this room. I can't say if they'd be good or bad. Maybe when it comes to this kind of thing, like infinite probability and multiple universes and shit, good and bad don't matter. There's no better or worse, just different. Even with dead Jade here, who's to say that the world she came from was actually worse than ours? She probably died a heroic death doing something incredible. We probably only have the great lives we do right now because of her sacrifice. The universal odds of us all being alive and healthy and together like this are so infinitesimally low that it's literally impossible for us to understand with our limited linear consciousness. Isn't that amazing? So even if this is the last time we're all ever in the same room like this, I think it's just incredible we could be here in the first place. Out of some sempiternal number of possibilities, we are the only incarnation of this exact specific moment in all of existence. I think that we should all look around and be super grateful for Whoa, fuck.
Roxy's voice starts to crack. She staggers off the podium, clutching her bloated stomach.
Roxy, are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. I just went into freaking labor. Oh my god!
John scrambles to his feet. Oh my god, it's happening. Oh my god. Oh my god!
OMG, John, are you just gonna keep shouting, oh my god, are you gonna help your wifey out?
Oh my god! John stumbles up the stairs to the pulpit, holding his head with both hands. It's actually Jake, still dutifully standing next to the corpse, who catches Roxy under the armpits when she topples backwards. He passes her off to John, who whips up a cushion of wind for her to recline on.
Doing okay there, sweetheart?
Why I let you put this thing inside me?
Don't worry, Roxy. We'll get it out as soon as we can. By it, I mean our child. We probably shouldn't be talking about him in dehumanizing terms if he's even born, huh? Seems like kind of a bad omen.
OMG, John, shut up. I need like 6 gallons of Demerol stat. Let's go.
Right, going.
John swoops his wife up in his arms starts scrambling down the aisle.
Wait, I want to be there as well. Hurry up then.
Calliope begins sprinting after John and Roxy, but doesn't make it 2 steps before something stops her in her tracks. A feeling that crawls under her exoskeleton. She stands deathly still for a moment and then turns to face the coffin. Something about the corpse has transfixed her. She curls her fingers around the rim of the casket and leans in, studying Teen Jade's peaceful face. Suddenly, the corpse bolts upright. Calliope yelps and falls on her butt. Adult Jade screams. Ah! By Jove, Jesus, fuck! Hair revealing her face, Teen Jade sets her hands on her chest and dissolves the shard bisecting her ribcage. The wound does not heal, but it doesn't bleed either. Jade, you're alive! Or, you're not dead? It takes the corpse a while to reply. Everyone waits for her to speak. When the words leave her mouth, they send a chill through the cathedral air. I am not Jade. Slowly, Jade raises her head. The stage makeup Roxy applied earlier is running down her face in dark rivers. Her eyes are solid black, even more than black it seems. There are hollows penetrating deep into a field of absence so profound, it's hard to imagine a single photon has ever crossed through its infinite expanse. Meeting her gaze is like peering into a realm where light goes to die. Calliope finds the sensation disturbingly familiar. Then who are you? You know who I am, Calliope. We met once, years ago. You were dead, and so was I. Calliope now understands exactly who is speaking to her. She tenses up, scuttles backward, and begins tumbling down the stairs into the aisle. She starts running before she's even up on both feet, clawing the carpet ragged in her desperation to escape the cathedral. The congregation watches her go, but no one moves to help her, or even looks in her direction. In her wake, she leaves a primal echoing wail. The door closes thunderously behind her. Her scream can be heard beyond the doors, growing quieter as she recedes into the distance. Kanaya adjusts the buttons on her very fashionable morning gloves and sighs. Well, this certainly is a turn of events. I'll say. At first I was underwhelmed by the proceedings, I have to admit. But that was quite the twist. This may seem be one of the best death-related celebrations I've ever seen. Top 5, at least. Teen Jade floats out of her coffin with a measured grace. Adult Jade shudders as her reanimated duplicate passes by. She slides back into Kanaya's comforting arms and hides her face in the crook of her neck. Teen Jade directs her pitch-black eyes toward the arched marbled ceiling and gazes skyward with a sort of intensity and purpose nobody in the crowd has seen in years. It's as if her glare is passing through the roof of the church and continuing unimpeded through the partitions of this very plane of reality itself. You're undoubtedly surprised, but these events were not unpredictable at all. This is exactly what I have been expecting to happen. She spreads her arms and speaks in a voice as deep and dark as the void. And while I cannot say the same thing for the rest of you, I, at least, am exactly where I am meant to be. Jake meekly raises his hand, now treating the botched funeral as something closer to a classroom meeting. Hey, not to come off as a total idiot here, but who were you supposed to be again? She directs the powerful vacuum of her hollow glare towards the total idiot. She regards him for a moment, radiating a sense of disdain for what may very well be the greatest living source of ignorance she has ever encountered in her many eons of existence. My name is Calliope. I am the muse of space, and I have entered the body to protect your world. This body to protect your world. How about that, huh? How about that? Epilogue 5. Candy 22. Fuck it. We're fucking in it now. I'm gonna take a quick break, real quick here, to nosh on a protein bar here. Because, whoo boy, it's fucking getting to me. Hi, baby. Here, baby. Come on. People need a tulip cam. Come on, Hammy. Here. Back over here. There you are. There's a tulip cam. Oh, what's up, baby? What are you doing, huh? What are you doing? Hmm? What's up? What are you doing, baby? Oh, gotta go. All right. Bye, Tutu. You okay? What's up? Gosh, very stale. This kind bar. Ah. Oh. He's very stale. Oh man, I'm glad I took this break because this is all Tracy and John. Oh my gosh. That's gonna be a fucking thing. All right. Let's get to it, huh?
Hey, John. Time for your regular checkup. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Pretty tepid reception from a guy who has in the past begged desperately for even a scrap of my attention. I'm glad to hear from you. It's just, I don't know, a lot's happened recently. I'm sort of numb from all of it. So tell me about it. What, are you my therapist now? No, I'm just a simple girl who loves the taste of your suffering. I'm so hungry out here alone in Paradox Space, John. Please nourish me with your pathetic midlife, ennui. It's not midlife ennui.
Ennui? I have no idea how to pronounce that word.
I'm not even 30 yet, come on. Also, I'm married, so, yeah. LOL, what does that have to do with anything? Never mind. So what's up with you? Oh, same old, same old. What are you doing right now? Oh, I'm at Harry Anderson's birthday party. Sounds important. Maybe I should let you go then. No, I mean, it's fine. I can talk for a bit. And leave Harry Anderson hanging? Wow, Egbert. You'd think an elderly man like you would know more decorum than me, a rowdy youth. Harry Anderson is basically just a baby who doesn't understand anything. A baby, kind of like you. So who's Harry Anderson? Oh, that's me and Roxy's son. Oh, cool, he got born. Yeah, Terezi, he got born like 3 years ago. It's been that long? Wow. Yeah, well, I was right. Where the hell have you been? Lost. Lost how? Like literally, physically lost, or metaphorically lost? Both, I guess. Terezi. Oh no, don't you dare use pitying ellipses. I mean, John Egbert. Sorry, it's kind of hard not to when every time you go, I have no idea if I'll ever talk to you again. Okay, you're obviously not in a place to talk right now. I didn't contact you because I wanted to deal with your weepy separation anxiety. How about I make this easy for you and just log off? No, please don't go. I'm sorry for being all human and weepy. I'm actually in a pretty okay place for once, I think.
Ennui? Okay, thanks, Pen. Ennui.
Calm down, I wasn't finished. Listen, I'll text you back in 5 minutes. That'll give you some time to emotionally process the harrowing experience of actually hearing from me again. Promise me it'll only be 5 minutes? Why? Because I worry about you. I just don't want you to leave me hanging for another year, making me wonder if you're dead. Please? Ugh, fine. I hereby solemnly swear upon the book of dumb, needy losers that I will text you in exactly 5 minutes. Whew, thank you. Okay, it's 5 minutes later. Don't tell me another 2 sleeps have passed. Nah, just a couple of weeks. Oh boy, what a couple of weeks, though. You would not believe what's happening right now. How did I ever not believe what was happening when you said I wouldn't? No, but to be fair, this one's especially wild. Here, wait, let me take a picture.
John Egbert sent Terezi Power up the photo Ghost Rain, not JPEG.
What the actual fuck? It started a few days ago. The sky above the capital of the Troll Kingdom just cracked open and ghosts began raining down everywhere. Actually, now that I think about it, I guess it started 3 years ago when a dead teen version of Jade fell from the sky and crashed into the ground during a picnic. Huh. That only affected our group, though. This whole thing with the troll ghosts has been a huge international incident. The political situation surrounding trolls was already tense enough without adding a gigantic population of immigrant ghost trolls to the mix. Wait, what happened? Well, because of what we know about alternate history, the government decided it was probably a bad idea to let trolls reproduce freely, especially considering how different our planet is from Alternia. I suppose that makes sense. Without state-sanctioned culling, the troll population would quickly dominate the planet. And Earthsea doesn't strike me as a sort of place that would take kindly to a lot of culling. Yeah, that was part of the government's official argument. It's either this or culling. But it didn't stop there. Also, a bunch of laws have been passed that restrict the kind of jobs trolls can have, like they're not allowed to serve in the government or rise past a certain rank in the military. They can't even be judges. Gasp! I know, it's pretty bad here. Considering the goal is to limit the spread and influence of trolls, this all seems like quite an alternative solution. Well, Jane is sort of a key political player now. She's not in the government exactly, but she has so much money she may as well be the government. Her company can do basically whatever it wants, and it seems more and more like that it wants, like what it wants is to make sure the politicians are saying exactly what it wants them to say. Ha! I always suspected she'd been swayed by the contest more than she ever let on. Yeah, I guess she was. Although, I don't know, for some reason it doesn't feel right to me. I knew a grown-up version of Jane. She was my Nana. I never met her until she came back as a sprite, but she just seemed like a kindly old grandma who liked to play pranks. Not a genocide fan? Not even close. I just can't believe how fast everything deteriorated. Don't tell me everyone's just taking this lying down. Of course not. Kanai and Rose are both heavily involved in grassroots activism right now. And Carcat, he's gone completely off the grid. At first, we all assumed that the reason he ran away was because he got fed up with his shitty poly relationship, which was probably part of it, honestly, but now I keep seeing his face on all the resistance posters. I think they may have actually put him in charge? I always knew he had it in him. Yeah, Dave's heartbroken, though. Why doesn't Dave just go and join him, then? I don't know, he worries about Jade, I guess? Jade would be fine. She's the most resilient out of all of you. Sigh, you know how Dave is. Yeah, loyal to a fault. Yeah, oh my god, holy shit, hang on, I gotta take another picture. John Egbert and Terezi Pyro, sent Terezi Pyro the photo, pbnj.jpg. What the fuck is this? Don't type your laughs at me after tricking me into looking at this abomination. I thought you might find it interesting. Why would I ever want to see Gamesy making out Tavros again? Again? Ugh, disgusting. In public and everything. Oh, it's always in public. This is how Gamesy helps people have their redemption arcs. By making out with them? Well, not always. Sometimes he has to make out with each other. Usually he just feeds them milk out of that stupid baby bottle he keeps with them at all times. I think it's supposed to be like some completely idiotic form of baptism he made up. Anyway, speaking of Tavros, what do you think about the morality of kidnapping someone if they're really unhappy and possibly also being abused? What? Okay, so like, if you kidnap someone and the situation you're kidnapping them into is way better than the one you kidnapped them out of, that's not morally wrong, right? John, are you trying to get me all flustered with such highly illegal sweet talk? No. Are you flustered? I might be if I thought you would actually break the law. Hey, I could totally do it. I'll believe it when I smell it. Okay, I guess I'm gonna do it then. Sure. I'm totally going to do it. Next time we talk, it'll be me telling you about all about my successful and highly illegal kidnapping venture. Whatever you say. Anyway, nice huddle, Egbert. But I have to go. Wait, what? You're going already? You barely said anything. You just listened to me ramble about Earthsea's problems. Isn't that how these conversations usually go? Yeah, I guess it is. But it doesn't have to be like that, you know? So, what's going on with you? Did it occur to you that maybe the reason I call you is because I want a brief reprieve from what's going on with me? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I just want you to feel that you're like my psychiatrist or whatever. Oh, that's cute. Don't worry about me, John. If you were bugging me, I'd just stop texting. Well, cool. If I'm not bugging you, then can I ask a favor? It's certainly within your power to ask me a favor. I can't promise to fulfill it. Ugh, now I feel even dumber for what I'm about to ask. I don't know if I even want to do it now. Ugh, out with it, Egbert! Fine, I'll do it. Whatever it is, just so you cease this maddening nerd boy insecurity. Okay. Can you take a selfie? What? And send it to me? Oh my god, I probably sound so creepy right now. Hey, don't laugh. Look, it's just that after all the talking we've done over the years, you're pretty important to me, Terezi. And with everything getting so weird, I've been getting scared lately. So in case things go to shit over here, or things go to shit wherever you are, I just want to make sure I have something to remember you by. Oh, so will you do it? Terezi doesn't answer, which is what John was expecting. He frowns and pockets his phone, blinking at the sudden brightness above him. The sky is ripped open in a dozen places, spilling ghosts and razor shards of unreality. John shields his face against the neon glare and scans the park for his family. Roxy and Calliope usually come to listen to Gamzee preach, and John's long since grown tired of trying to talk them out of it. The best he can do at this point is tag along to make sure that young Harry Anderson isn't hearing all this utter nonsense without the tempering influence of his skeptical father. It's a responsible adult thing to do. Well, it would be responsible
the responsible adult thing to do if John were actually doing it. Instead, he just spent the last 10 minutes surreptitiously texting Terezi under the hem of his suit jacket. Now he's lost track of his wife, his son, and his wife's sort of ex-girlfriend in the enraptured throng of all these brainless clown worshippers. The crowd is mostly ghosts, but there's a substantial number of Carapacian and human citizens out here tonight as well, straigning to get a good look at the newly redeemed acolytes. John's eye wanders toward the center of the crowd's focus. Looks like a conversation is taking place right now.
Now welcome into the dope arms of Mother Redemption, this lowly penitent who's all kinds of sorry about his past deeds.
Oh yeah, I'm very redeemed. Are you sure? I forgot Eridan's and Fefri's voices. Those are fucking gone into the ether now.
Fef, you don't believe me? What do I how to fucking do to crawl on the fucking ground? Or what do I have to fucking do? Crawl on the ground at your feet?
Crawl on the fucking ground at your feet?
Snorting and snuffing at your shoes like a mushroom sniffing pork fiend, sizing up those covetous sweaty delicacies snuffed within, like a couple of premium shrimp loaves garnished with 10 exquisite pygmy soiree wieners. I'm a worm, Fef. I'm the lowest of the worst.
Okay, if that's really how you feel, I guess I can
accept your apology.
Nice. Now this is what I'm talking about. All this forgiveness and shit up in the motherfucking house. After all, what's a little murder between morals?
I guess that's true. It happens to the best of us.
You both are so close to redemption now. First, a little righteous splash of the nana nectar to cleanse that dankness from your souls.
Gamesy takes out a baby bottle and flicks it, covering them both with little drops of milk, as clergy does with holy water. He then takes a swig from the bottle himself before returning it to his codpiece.
Now, kiss my motherfuckers.
Finally! Pucker out, Fef, and plant one on me. You got it, it's the rules.
The motherfucker's right. It'd all be fucking critical to both your redemption, to kiss and make up.
Sigh. If it's for redemption, then very well.
Oh, fuck yeah. Rub-a-dub, come give me a glub.
John makes a disgusted face as Gamesy grabs the two trolls by a horn each and mashes their faces together. One of them looked extremely into it. The other, not so much. John would have been transfixed by the spectacle for longer if his phone didn't start buzzing in his pocket again. He fumbles it out of his coat and checks. Terezi Pyro sent John Egbert the photo, here.jpg. He looks around and presses accept, embarrassed to realize how fast his heart is beating. Before he can look at the photo, a familiar voice breaks through the din of the crowd.
Yo, John, over here.
John puts his phone away quickly. Roxy's holding Harry Anderson up on her shoulder. John can see his son's face, grinning and bright-eyed, bobbing over the crowd. He returns the smile and starts to make his way toward his wife. Just then, a dark shadow passes over the park. The crowd falls silent as they raise their heads to watch a drone ship pass by overhead. Its design is insect-like, splitting into many jagged branches, each decked out with weapons and cameras. It's completely silent and encased in armor with a bright red finish, smooth and seamless. It's often cited by Jane as the crown jewel of Crococor's various military contracts with the government. John reunites with his family and takes Harry Anderson from Roxy. The toddler buries his face in John's chest to escape the horrible sight crawling across the sky above them. Calliope clasps her hands together and stares at the ship in a terse expression.
It's getting less and less unusual to see those in the Troll Kingdom, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't help but think the government's getting ready for something big. LMAO, you worry too much. Janie's got her head on straight. She'll show you yet.
Ugh, let's not talk about this right now.
Yes, you're right. It's getting late anyway. We should head home. See you next week, Callie?
Oh, yes. Always, Roxy.
That night, after he and Roxy put Harry Anderson to bed and Roxy retires to their room for the evening, John goes to his office and prints out the picture of Terezi. He doesn't have any nice photo paper to put it on, so it comes out too dark with the colors all smeared. He scrubs the printer's history settings when he's finished. When his anxiety is assuaged, he flops down in the spinny chair at the center of the room and studies the picture. Terezi doesn't look that much different from how he remembers her. A little more worn, maybe, thinner and older and more tired, but it's her. She's smiling and holding up her hand in a cheeky wave that suggests neither a greeting nor a farewell. The light from the phone screen is reflected in her glasses. John can't see her eyes. He folds the picture into quarters and slips it into his wallet, behind Harry Anderson's baby photo. Then he turns off the light and goes to bed. My voice is getting very tired. Fucking hell.
Honey, you ready to go?
On Candy 23.
Yeah, sweetheart. Give me a second.
John finishes fixing his tie in the bedroom mirror, taking a moment to check the hallway door in the reflection. Roxy hasn't come looking for him, which is good because he's still got a few things to prepare, and he'd rather she didn't see the items he's about to pull out of their closet. He hasn't told his wife what he's planning because he doesn't want to be talked out of it. Typically, he rankles at the prospect of spending time with Jane and her family, so Roxy was surprised when he agreed to hold Harry Anderson's 5th birthday party at Jane's mansion. But she didn't question him about it. In fact, all she did was tip her head up at him and blink a few times, her long eyelashes catching the light, making her eyes look like mirrors. It was disconcerting for reasons that he couldn't put his finger on. It's not like Roxy had ever been argumentative. Exactly. He just seems to remember someone from his youth who was somewhat more contrarian in spirit than this person he's married to now. Back when they were dating, John thought she was acting a little off. Not quite in a bad way, but perhaps a little too in love too fast. At least she still seemed like herself most of the time. But since the wedding, every year that goes by, she seems to become just a little more conciliatory, not just toward him, but toward life in general. She indulges Harry Anderson liberally and almost thoughtlessly. She doesn't care that her best friend is slowly turning into an executive overseeing the corporate arm up the puppet ass of a ruthless dictatorship. She still thinks Gamzee is being sincere about all this redemption bullshit, even though he's been casting an increasingly dark and hungry shadow behind Jane, a malicious royal vizier to her burgeoning imperial persona. Johnson frustrated with it in a quiet, guilty way, because he loves his wife. And even more than that, he loves their son. When he doesn't think too hard about all this stuff, it seems perfect. But sometimes John can't help but lie awake at night, staring at the dark ceiling until he loses the grip on his perfect life entirely. He starts to fear that if he closes his eyes, he might reopen them to discover it was all an illusion. Harry Anderson, Earthsea, Lord English's alleged defeat, or maybe, stretching even further back than that, the trolls, the game, everything important and exciting that's ever happened to him. Was it all a lie? Like some big prank? No, at least some of it had to be real. Dave, Jade, and Rose are real. Their friendship is real. Is real. At least it used to feel that way. He needs to believe it still is. And what about Terezi? She's real too, and John's got that picture to prove it, burning a hole in his wallet. Yet he keeps it there, because at least that feels like something. It's the same feeling that makes him do subtle things to push against his wife's placid demeanor. He never quite tries to start a fight, but at this point he wouldn't mind having one either. At least it might help reassure him that she's real too. If she doesn't get upset after what he's about to pull today, then John doesn't know what he'll do. He goes to the closet and unhinges the bottom of the drawer where he keeps all of his identical blue ties. In this secret compartment are some tools, graphene wire, a multi-tool screwdriver, molding plaster. John's so focused on finding places in his coat to hide all those things that he doesn't hear footsteps behind him.
Dad, what are you doing?
John spins around, startled. It's just his kid, though, already looking uncomfortable, in his tweed jacket and knee socks. John kicks the closet door closed. He already has everything he needs anyway.
Just getting your gifts, Harry Anderson. It's your birthday after all. Why are you open? All the gifts from you and Mom. Dad, are you telling a fib?
John ruffles his son's hair and shoots him one of his patented Egbertian winks. He decides then and there that a good father wouldn't need to keep any secrets from his son. No, a good dad will always let his son in on the joke, no matter how much trouble he might be about to get himself in.
Harry Anderson, don't tell your mother, but we're getting a new addition to the family today.
It's little Tavros Crocker who opens the door to Jane's opulent mansion. He's still so short that he has to stand up on his toes to reach the knob. He stares up at his visitors with a serious expression, the prescription on his spectacles distorting the size of his pupils so that they look like big, wet, depressing sinkholes. John's heart wrenches at the sight of him. He's so young, but he always looks so somber and sad. Fucking.
Oh, hello, folks. You're a mite early, don't you think?
Nope, actually. Dave and Jade materialize behind everyone, he in a pressed red suit, she in a glittering space dress. They're both holding gifts wrapped in spare printer paper. Dave adjusts his sunglasses and smirks at Harry Anderson. You were exactly 30 seconds and like 68 nanoseconds early.
Oh, F off, Dave. You're getting even cornier than John, and you're not even a dad.
Oh no, my guy Harry over there seems to be enjoying my material.
It's like you're a living atomic clock.
Man, I love this kid. What kind of 5-year-old is into atomic clocks? Damn, every time I see him, I just want to pinch his cheeks and tell him about the things like when I was his age and shit.
If you like kids so much, Dave, why don't you just buy one?
Jade, I know that what you think you were doing there was like smoothly inserting the idea of us one day adopting kids into the conversation, but what you actually just described is literal slavery, which is both illegal and bad.
Sigh. Maybe you're the one who's illegal and bad. Ever think of that?
Nope, never once crossed my mind. Anyway, John and Roxy, John and Roxy, you heard the lady. Can we buy your kid?
No, he's not for sale. Do you all want to come in or not?
I fucking great new characters. Fucking great. Now we have to have more voices in the fucking shit mix. That is my garbage range. Tavros has been waiting patiently for the adults to finish talking the whole time, like he always does. He leads everyone inside with a stoic countenance more befitting of a footman than the firstborn son of the planet's wealthiest family.
So, where's your mom and dad? They're still in, auspices counseling with Uncle Gamzee. Oh, woof.
Wolf is right.
Hey, Davros, is Vriska here?
Oh, okay, on.
So, if Roxy is here, and John is here, what's in the middle? What's in the middle? Hey, Davros, is Vriska here? Unfortunately, Harry Anderson, Rose and Kanaya aren't on speaking terms with our Aunt Jane and Uncle Jake anymore. Why not?
Roxy sighs loudly through her nose. She hates talking about this shit.
'Cause of the political situation. What? A political situation? Mother has been
Fucking hell.
Mother has been advising the human government that they should do their best to, exclude trolls from the seats of power in all branches of public service, and, Aunts Rose and Kanaya don't like it because of some of the legislation in the works could, delegitimize their marriage. I have no idea what any of that means, huh?
The adults exchange confused looks. It's more than a little jarring that this 5-year-old kid seems so well educated on the intricacies of xenophobic political policy. But then again, this is Jane's son, they remind themselves.
Anyway, why would you want Vriska to be here? Why ruin a nice birthday party? 'Cause she's super fun. She's not fun, she's mean. Yeah, to you, 'cause you're a wuss. Harry Anderson Egbert. Don't call other kids wusses.
Hey, what's even wrong with being a wuss? Harry, my dude, you need to unplug that from toxic masculinity.
From what?
What have you been teaching this kid?
Dave, sometimes I really can't believe this is the adult you chose to become. It's actually great, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so.
Dave ruffles Harry Anderson's hair. It's nice that Dave is so woke and great with kids, but that really does invite the question of why he and Jade don't have any yet. There's still something sad and wistful about Dave at the moment, as he pointedly avoids letting Jade take his hand while they're led into the game room. Jade and Dave will laugh and trade barbs with each other like old friends, but there's something disconcertingly sterile about it. John can help but think about the last time they were all together, like this in Jane's mansion, and the look on Carket's face when he stormed out of the foyer. Everyone settles down in the game room except Tavros, who stands by the door with his arms folded like he's behind his back, as if waiting to be ordered around. Harry Anderson is opening his gifts from Jade and Dave when a door upstairs slams open so hard it rattles all the crystal glasses arranged on the nearby table.
You are such an unbelievable dunce, Jake English. I can't believe that I worked so hard and have to come home to your feckless tomfoolery every day. My goodness, what gives you the right to talk to me that way?
Jake's side of the conversation is too far away to hear, but Gamzee's unmistakable mush-mouthed voice floats down the hallway between the sharp edges of Jane's shrieks.
And you're not even proficient in bed anymore. What is even the point of you if...
Hey, call me a tits, baby.
Silence, clown!
Tavros stares at his feet, wearing a strained expression.
It's fine. My parents are Kismeses, after all. Kismeses?
Jane storms downstairs. Her guests are completely silent at the sound of her heels, as the sound of her heels echoes down the hall. She steps into the room, her face still twisted in rage and disgust. The moment her eyes fall over her gathered friends, however, her expression changes like someone flipping a switch. She smiles, looking cordial and perfectly pleasant, fluttering her lashes like there's nothing in the world more important to her than being an excellent host.
Oh, hello everyone. I'm sorry that I was not able to greet you at the door. I had some pre-appointed business to attend to. I trust that Tavros led you all inside without trouble? Yes, ma'am. Good boy.
Jane pats him on the head as she goes by, patronizingly, like you'd pet a dog, or Gamzee.
Harry Anderson, my dear. Auntie Jane.
Jane stoops down to her knees and throws her arms open. Harry Anderson bolts across the room and throws himself into her ample chest, nuzzling into her cheek as she laughs and ruffles his hair fondly. John turns his head aside so that no one sees the queasy face he's making. Jane is, unfortunately, Harry Anderson's favorite aunt. She gained his affection the same way she gains everyone's affection. She fucking bought it.
Look at you. You've gotten so big and strong since the last I saw you. I grew a whole 3 inches. Yes, I can see that. You're going to be quite the strapping young man before we know it. Since it's your first milestone birthday, I've instructed my staff that you are to be spoiled like a little prince today. Right now, they're finishing off your cake. It's a recipe I invented just for you. Gosh. And I've got your present all wrapped up too. It's too big to keep in the house, however, so after cake and tea, we'll go see it in the backyard. You're the best, Auntie Jane. Oh, no. Jane, please don't tell me you commissioned one of those drone thingies for my son.
Jane rises to her feet, huffing.
And if I did, John, what would be the problem with that? Are you saying that you don't want to assure your son's safety? In troubled times such as these, one can be too careful. Roxy, back me up here, honey. There's no way we would be okay with that, right?
Roxy fiddles with one of her earrings and casts her gaze around the room, looking at every and anything but her husband. Dave and Jade have also developed a profound interest in the patterns woven into the expensive carpet under their feet.
Well, I can't say I'm comfy with it, but...
Janie means well, John, and it'd be rude to just refuse a gift from my bestie like that. Besides, you're just assuming she got Harry Anderson an Imperial drone. She never said that was what it was, did you, Jane?
Jane's tight-jawed silence confirms that she did, indeed, have a literal instrument of government oppression crafted for their son on the momentous occasion of his 5th birthday. John had to pinch his nose and practice controlled breathing to keep himself from getting mad for real. Getting in an argument right now would totally fuck up all his plans.
Okay, fine. You know what? I don't care.
Really?
Yeah, it's whatever. I get it. Jane's just trying to show that she cares. You know, I do adore little Harry Anderson. What I do care about, however, is that cake. And not eating it, I mean. Excuse me? Nothing personal, Jane. It's just that I'm not the biggest fan of cakes. Instead, I was wondering if maybe I could go visit the trophy room. You know, the one where Jake keeps all the memorabilia from that dumb show he used to be on?
You mean poppin' and hoppin', pistol lockin' with Jake English?
No.
Or do you mean doing the Charleston with notable social figureheads, stars versus enemies of the state with your host, Jake English?
That one's still running, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah, that's definitely not the one I was talking about. Oh, you probably mean afternoon gillygaffy amongst the common folk with your host, Jay Gishy Gun McGee. No, God, these all sound so bad. I mean the one with Dirk.
Dude.
You mean the classic primetime program, Rumble in the Pumpkin Patch? Yeah, that one. Ew. Why do you want to go look at stuff from Rumble into Pumpkin Patch? Why not? I don't know. It just seems kind of morbid with Dirk dead and all, don't you think? Also, that show was really gross. I support Jake in whatever he does, but it was so
sweaty.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it was an important cultural milestone, and I missed it all by being mopey and depressed for like 5 years straight. So, what do you think, Tavros? Want to show me all about your dad's glory days?
Tavros blinks up at John in surprise.
Oh, I can take you there, John.
No! I mean,
no, that's fine. I'd like some time to get to know my nephew. Or, cousin? Ecto brother. OMG, Jave, I just realized that when we get married, that'll make John and Rose siblings-in-law. Which is funny, since I guess John is technically already your father-in-law.
Yep, that's totally what our friend group needs. Be even more incestuous.
What does incestuous mean?
It means that everyone's really good friends, Harry Anderson. Just a dumb fancy word for BFFs. It's a big hard word for grown-ups, though, so feel free to unknow it now, sweetie.
Oh yeah, that's totally it.
Hey, Tavros, let's go, buddy.
John sets a hand on Tavros' back and pushes him out of the room. When they're upstairs together, far enough away from the party, Tavros wrenches his hands together and asks,
Uncle John, what's the real reason we're up here?
Oh, I could see that you were getting uncomfortable. You don't like being around big crowds like that, do you? But you don't like to be alone either? Well, not in this house, at least. I wouldn't want to be alone here either. It's not a very nice place to live, is it?
I'm, not sure I understand your meaning, Uncle John.
Here, come with me.
John grabs Tavros by his chubby wrist and begins dragging him around a corner, from one featureless white hallway into another.
This isn't the right way.
I know. Hey, Tavros, why don't we go to your room for a minute?
Oh.
Tavros tugs on John's hand and leads him back up a few steps. With his free hand, he pushes a door open, revealing a large, tidy bedroom. 4-poster bed, perfectly arranged bookshelf, not a single toy out of place or on the floor. The room obviously belongs to a 5-year-old, judging by the colorful wallpaper and irreverent clown-themed bedsheets, but there's nothing in it to suggest individualized expression of a developing personality. Tavros sighs, his facial expression unchanging. He looks resigned, to life in general, as well as whatever it is he's expecting from this particular situation. Wait. What is he expecting from the situation, having been led away to a secluded part of the house by an adult? What has he been taught to expect?
Tavros, is everything okay?
Yes, Uncle John. Why do you ask?
You just seem, I don't know, sad?
I feel okay. It is a happy day, after all. It's Harry Anderson's birthday. There's a good reason to be happy.
Yeah, but what about you? Are you actually happy about it? About everything going on here?
I suppose my mother tends to get displeased when I'm unhappy, so...
Sigh.
John walks a little further into the room, inspecting the surroundings. He can hardly find a single fault, not a wrinkle in the sheets, nor a... John looks down. He takes a step back to set his foot on the part of the floor he just stepped on. He lifts it again, with some tacky resistance tugging at the sole of the shoe. The floor is sticky here, like the floor of a movie theater. He bends down to touch it and give it a sniff, just as he thought. Fago.
Tavros, does Gamzee ever come into your room?
Possibly. He is so often to be found in so many places.
John glances under the bed, then he sees it. A half-finished bottle of Fago.
Isn't that his Fago there?
Oh, my no. Please, Uncle John, don't tell my mother.
Tell her what?
The Fago is mine. My uncle gives it to me sometimes. My mother strictly forbids it, of course.
John nervously ponders his response, and everything about the boy's life it could be implying. He takes a deep breath and becomes very serious. He places a hand on Tavros' shoulder and looks him directly in the eye.
Tavros, listen to me. Are you getting bad touched by your Uncle Gamzee?
Tavros seems taken aback by the question, and then appears thoughtful. Oh, no? But yes, I can gather how you might draw the conclusion.
You can? Why?
It just seems like a thing that would eventually happen to me, does it not? A look of sadness washes over John's face, a sadness deeper than either kind he could summon from the previous 2 funerals he's attended.
What would make you say that?
Well, I think, for the same reason that led you to yourself to wonder, Uncle John, he is a very, very bad clown uncle, but I think that I am not allowed to say or think such a thing.
Why not?
Because Uncle Gamzee has undertaken his redemption arc with a spirit of great sincerity, I've been told. So the truth is, no matter how I may feel about him, Mother tells me that he is not actually bad. And therefore, anything he does cannot truly be considered bad either. Otherwise, we are not respecting his repentance, or the others he has saved.
Tavros sighs again. John makes no effort to disguise his look of grave disapproval and sorrow.
I don't want you to worry. Too much, though. His occasional sojourns in my room are not of any especially ill intent, I don't think. He's told me in confidence that his intention is to train me.
Train you?
Yes, in matters of combat, philosophy, life, love. I suppose to behave the way a mentor does, as he sees it.
Anger wells up in John anew. He gets to his feet in a flurry, a literal one. A gust of wind whisks through the room, clattering open the closet door and rustling a perfectly arranged stack of papers off the desk. They flutter through the room like dead leaves caught in an autumn storm. Soon the room is howling with his sustained winds. That's it. Tavros, start packing right now.
Packing?
Yeah, 1 bag of some of your clothes, your favorite toys and books, that kind of thing.
I don't understand.
Tavros, I have to get you out of here now.
What?
I'm going to take you away so you can live with me, Harry Anderson, and your Aunt Roxy. You wouldn't have to live here anymore. No more being alone all the time. No more weird troll maids or listening to your parents fight. And no more Uncle fucking Gamzee.
That does sound jolly good, Uncle John.
Then what are you waiting for? Start packing.
Well, I would, except that we can't go out without tripping the security. Mother has taken great precautions to make sure I never...
Don't worry, kid. I came prepared. John produces his screwdriver and a length of wire from the inside of his suit jacket. We're leaving through that window, one way or another. Tavros takes in a sharp breath before spinning on his heel and stumbling toward his closet. John catches the ghost of a smile on his face before he turns, and that's all it takes to turn the pounding of his heart from terrified to thrilled. Yes, what he's about to do will probably send shockwaves through their already fragmented friend group, but Jane's the one who started it. She brought this on herself. John starts opening the window, using all the tricks he's memorized from tutorials on the deep web to bypass the security bolt. He whistles to himself, thinking about how happy Tavros is going to be with him, Roxy, and Harry Anderson. This seems like a bad idea. Just by the way, just cross the board. Jane barely even seems to like the kid, but Jake does. Jake loves him, even though he was totally trapped in this unhappy relationship because of the pregnancy. So it seems to John the only way to save Jake from this unspeakable prison is to subtract the only thing he cares about. Roxy will be mad at first, but John is certain that she'll what? Acquiesce? Is that really what he wants? He considers with a sense of guilt how exhilarating it would be if she finally fought him on something. John starts laughing to himself when a window pops open suddenly. No alarm goes off. The deep web was right. Fresh summer air rushes in and fills John's lungs. His head swims with the giddy high feeling of being on the verge of getting away with some shit. Wow, is this why people commit crimes? Crimes! It feels so good. He can't wait to tell Therese that he's doing something so bold and illegal. He starts laughing louder. Tavros is laughing too, quiet and cautious at first, but picking up steam as he begins to taste the sort of freedom he never allowed himself to imagine. John turns, shocked to see Jade standing in the bedroom doorway. She looks like a shadow with her dark hair hiding her face. John can't tell what kind of expression she's making under there. She speaks softly. John, what are you doing?
Nothing. Just, fixing this damn broken window is all.
She twitches her dog ears and raises her face. Her mouth is a neutral line, but her eyes are burning furiously.
I heard everything.
The two of them stare at each other for a long time. John isn't sure how he's supposed to read this moment. He used to know Jade better than he knew anyone, but in recent years she's passed him by, just like the rest of the world. Tavros is cowering in his closet, fiddling with the strap on his backpack. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Tell Jane? Jade flinches like she's been hit. I've got a fucking nut in my teeth. She flicks her tail, breaks eye contact.
John, I wouldn't do that to you. You'd probably end up on Jake's stupid execution dance-off show. Then are you going to help me?
She shakes her head.
I can't do that either. You know this is going to make everything worse, right?
Jade, I don't know where you've been for the past few years, but I don't think things can get any worse. I mean, even today, Jane was up here hollering at Jake about how his dick doesn't work right when she knew we were all waiting for them downstairs.
I know, but all you're doing is going to do by kidnapping him is piss everyone off.
Excuse me, dearest aunt, but Is it kidnapping I badly would like to go?
See? Sigh. I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think you've actually thought this through.
I agree. I don't think you thought that through at all, John.
Yes, I have, because I've been planning it for years. I know that I've been pretty, flaky in the past, but this is really important. I know what I'm doing.
Jade sighs in frustration and pushes back her bangs.
John, Jane is one of the most powerful people on the entire planet. Do you really think you can just, that you can keep him away from her if she wants to get him back? I'm sorry, but you just don't know them like I do.
If you know them so well, Jade, then you know why I have to do this.
I'm on your side here. I know that Jane hasn't been the best parent, but stealing somebody's child? There has to be another way.
A gust of wind blasts in through the window and blows back Jade's hair, leaving it all mussed over her shoulders. John points at her. If there was another way, we would have found it by now. But there isn't one, because everyone's been all brainwashed by marriage or whatever the hell happened over the last few years that made things be this way. It's like everyone just talks past each other all the time.
John,
I'm the only one who ever seems to realize that something's wrong. I would really be chuffed to if you... Even you, Jade, you're not listening to me right now. Stop quarreling and listen to me for a spell. That's why Carcat left, because you didn't listen to him. Just like you don't listen to Dave.
what the fuck, John? This isn't about me and Dave.
Yes, it is. I mean, not directly, but cosmically. Yeah, it is.
Cosmically?
You knew that Dave and Carcat were in love with each other, but you went ahead and totally messed with their relationship anyway.
What?
Jade, don't pretend that you have no idea what happened.
I can't believe... John, that's such a low blow. You don't know the first thing about me and Dave's relationship.
I know more than you think I do. I know that you pressured them into the whole relationship. I know that they both hated it and only went along with it because they care about you and felt obligated. And Jade, I love you, but honestly, how does that make you any different than Jade?
I'm nothing like her.
Well, you're nothing like Jade, like the Jade I used to know either. The wind in the room picks up. It skates against the walls, dislodges books from the shelf, gets under the bed sheets, and balloons them off the mattress. The Jade I used to know was caring and selfless. All you ever wanted was for your friends to be safe. You weren't this selfish.
Oh, is that what this is about, John? You don't like it now that I'm not the same
fucking hell.
Some helpless princess in a tower anymore? You don't like that I'm doing things for myself now?
What the hell are you talking about? Seriously, Jade, I don't even know who you are anymore.
Well, I can certainly say the same thing for you right now.
And Aunt Jade, Uncle John, you should really, John and Jade stop. There's another shadow cast in the doorway, a much darker one.
Excuse me,
she says in a sugary sweet voice.
But what the fuck is going on in here?
Oh, no.
Jane! We were just hollering at each other so loudly that everyone in the darned house can hear you.
Oh, you're one to talk.
John, I know that we have not been as close in recent years as we were in the past, but I would like to think that at the very least our familiar relationship would make it so that you felt you could talk to me face to face if you think that my method of parenting is insufficient.
Are you sure? Do you really want to know what I think?
Oh no. Please, John, illuminate me.
A lash of wind whips from window to door and down the hall in time to meet the rest of the partygoers, now including Jacob Crocker himself. They've all come upstairs to investigate the noise. Tavros flinches when a book slams against the closet door, 2 inches from his face. What's going on? Oh shit. I don't know, Jane. I feel like if I really speak my mind here, it might be dangerous. How do I know you won't have the secret police come and arrest me in the night?
Excuse me?
That's where this is all going, right? Your whole thing with the trolls?
If you have something to say, then say it plainly, John.
Fine. I don't think that you had bad intentions to start with, Jane. In fact, I think that you probably honestly thought you were doing what was best for the world. You've always been a perfectionist, right? But over the last few years, you've morphed into a complete control freak. And it all started with your relationship with Jake. You forced him into a relationship when Dirk's corpse wasn't even cold.
I would like to point out, I'm sorry, but you're calling me a control freak. Dirk was the control freak. After he died, I distinctly remember loosening up, in fact. I let go. I was actually relieved to hear he died.
Janie, what?
Okay, that was a misleading statement. What I really meant was,
Jane, you're missing the point. That Jane and I were involved in romantic dalliance at the time of his death. Dirk is dead. This isn't about him anymore. You're the one cheering the government along as it marches toward genocide.
John, I hardly think that you're qualified to opine on the nuances of the current political situation. Thank you very much.
Ha! Is that how you talk to your husband too?
He's actually, at the moment, my kismesis. And if Jake didn't want any of this, he should have knocked me up.
Hello, chaps. I am right here. Oh yeah, like that was such an accident. Can you honestly say that he wanted any of this? The wind rises with the pitch of John's yelling, turning Tavros' bedroom into a miniature tempest. The gale upends the bookshelf, snaps open the toy box, and sends all the debris spinning in every direction, smashing against the walls and bedposts. John doesn't seem to notice, encased in his own cyclonic armor. Oh my god, I'm so sick of all this domestic relationship shit every fucking day. Can we talk about something else for once? Yeah, Dave, I'm sick of it too. That's my point. Okay, then John, can you just stop all this windy shit at least? No, I can't. I can't stop because I'm not the problem.
Are you saying that I'm the problem? That's extremely reductive. Okay, yeah, there are a lot of problems, but I've got to say, Jane, you kind of are the problem. A lot of this awful garbage revolves around you. You're the one always selling everyone on games' redemption arc, which is total bullshit. Putting them on billboards, organizing redemption rallies, and
John, the people need something to believe in.
if we were to live in an organized society, you simply wouldn't understand. And letting him sleep in your and Jake's bed and feeding him that weird milk all the time. Ah!
Hey, my relationship with my loyal auspicious
It's none of your business, let alone who it is with.
not alone who it is I decide to share a bed with.
Is it? You sure you go out of your way to shove it in everyone's face?
John, that is just uncalled for.
It's bullshit, Jane. It's all bullshit. Hey, Tulip, I'm not actually mad. I'm just reading. The wind surges again. The window bangs open so hard that it smashes against the pane, sending shards of glass whipping through the storm. Everyone covers from the rain of sharp projectiles. John catches what he's doing when he sees how terrified the kids look. He shuts his eyes and digs his fingernails into his palms, doing everything in his power to calm himself down. When he opens his eyes again, the room is completely destroyed. Tarvos is all the way in his closet, clinging white-knuckled to the edge of the door. Everyone else is clustered around the doorway. Jane stares at John with a dark expression. After a beat of silence, Harry Anderson starts crying. Roxy won't meet his eyes. Dave won't either. John turns to Tarvos, opens his mouth to apologize, but the kid just ducks deeper into the closet, trembling.
I'm sorry. No one wants to hear it, John.
John staggers back a few steps, toward the broken window. His vision is blurring beneath a pool of angry tears that he can't hold back anymore. He wipes his face with both hands, all sloppy and clumsy. The way he used to cry when he was a kid. He doesn't open his eyes again until he's jumped through the open window. The sky outside is dark. He flies higher and higher, high enough that the air starts to get thin and chilly. Up here, the human kingdom looks so small. He can see the sun setting over the curvature of the earth, a brilliant arc of orange and red. It's like looking down at a little toy city, a ship in a bottle. That's what the world feels like now, a tiny, fake model planet living inside a bubble. Look too hard, and the illusion cracks around the edges, like the black hole in John's anime dreams. There's a trembling in his hands that he hasn't felt in years. He looks up at the glittering stratosphere and imagines piercing through it. Would that pop the bubble, he wonders, or would he go hurtling through space forever? He's contemplating that, just jumping up as far as he can until he flies into the sun or stops existing or whatever, until he realizes that his phone is buzzing in his pocket. He takes it out, almost drops it because of how cold his hands are. His breath is frosting in the air as he looks at the screen. The color of the text sends a jolt through his body. With shaking fingers, he answers the text.
John, are you there?
I really need to talk to someone right now.
Yeah. Me too.
All right. I'm gonna call it there. It's now 4 o'clock. We're only like halfway through this shit. We got another fucking like 20 less than 20 to go. Whatever, we're done. That's the stream, everybody. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll do the YouTube outro here. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure you click the like button down below and subscribe to keep up with my stuff. New videos almost every Monday and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. They're my stream VODs. There's a link down to my Twitch channel in the description. Go there if you want to go live and everything. We're reading through the epilogues. Gonna be going through just some games and playing through stuff. Gonna be starting up Danganronpa 2 here soon, so it should be a lot of fun. But yeah, comment what was your favorite part about all this? Was it the actual introduction of the kids? Was it John getting angry? Let me know. And share it with your friends. If you have friends who didn't want to actually fucking take the time to read through this shit, let me read it to them, because we'll get there eventually. But yeah, anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you next time. Later, everybody.